Welcome. In this video I would like to showcase the rate limiting effect, which is the opposite from zero cooldown. If that happens when you cast your spells, and it seems like it can't be fixed, this is the easiest solution. It will work with any skill, but I will show it with Comet and Spark, as the effect is most noticeable with a high energy cost and low energy cost skill. So normally we may suggest that for a certain version of a build, to increase Flask life recovery. Let's add 70%, which at our current value, equates to over 20% more recovery. Whether we use jewels or skill points, the effect is the same. Now let's see what our recovery was, just under 9,000. We have increased this value, so now when we take damage, we will heal more and should survive, right? Well, depending on our gear, our other stats may be out of balance. Even with more recovery, it's not looking like we'd survive for very long. Because we are casting at the maximum rate, we take damage very quickly, and this is based on how much energy shield and life we have. Without also changing other stats, based on what is available to us, it can be very hard to fix a build. Firstly, let's see what zero cooldown looks like, which is based on the order of gems in Barrier Invocation. Skills cast left to right, so if our first skill instantly fills our flame, and we generate enough energy to cast again, we will cast with zero cooldown. All this means is that due to the order of skill gems, when we cast a spell, our first spell fills our flame and we generate enough energy to cast again. We are still using the same gear and jewels. All we have done is added or removed Flask life recovery and repositioned gems. So with the same setup, let's now remove the 70% Flask life recovery that we added before. If we are trying to test like this, and our flask is still active but we have changed it, you can leave the zone, go to literally any other zone, and it will reset. Then we can see it has cleared, and we can use our updated flask. We lost a lot of recovery, and we are barely able to sustain it. Now, I won't suggest messing around adding and removing a skill point. This is where rate limiting comes into play. Skills cast based on the order they are placed, so let's take advantage of that to take less damage. If the first skill we cast does not fill our flame, we will not generate energy, and we must wait for the second skill to cast, before we gain another charge to loop. Obviously Comet fully fills our flame, as we have been successfully testing with it. Spark however will not. Because of this effect, we can see the delay on our Barrier Invocation symbol, indicated to us, by turning grey, as the energy has not been generated yet, due to the order of skill gems. This is good for starters, because we do not need as much recovery. When we swap them around, and allow the first cast to generate energy, we will see that the symbol does not turn grey. At this point, many people have turned to using a macro, to limit the rate they take damage. I have now shown a way to limit the rate we take damage. As we build our character, upgrade jewels and gear, as well as learn tricks like this, then we can start to increase our cast rate, and it will no longer have to be limited. Without calculating, it's much easier to test in-game with the resources you have. So, 30% was not enough, but maybe 70 will. With an extra 7 skill points, we are now able to cast Comet at the maximum rate, without killing ourselves. We can see some builds have no internal cooldown, for more damage, and some builds take advantage of rate limiting, for more survivability. Both have pros and cons, but both are simply due to the order of gems. I will quickly show another way that the rate limiting effect can be utilized, to reduce the amount of recovery needed to cast 3 comets. We can easily work out that if Comet requires 300 energy, having 3 of them would require 900 energy. This does simply mean we need to generate 900 energy per cast, which if you've done the math, might seem impossible. Now our rate limiting effect can help us, because we fill our flame fully with each comet, and we cast 3 comets, we fill our flame 3 times, so 1 charge of Barrier Invocation actually gives us 3 times our energy, and we have limited the cast rate, so we don't take much damage at all. We can see that if we take the other comets out of the invocation, we generate too much energy and will quickly die. Well, that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and take care.